Hello, this is Brandon Ivey, and I'm coming with a new video. The topic of this video is the evolution of network marketing recently over the last, maybe a decade or so. And this came about through conversations that I've had with other industry leaders from many different companies and their backgrounds and their experience. And one question that always has come up is, today it seems that network marketers, and I'm specifically targeting America, United States of America, network marketers today are approaching our industry with the goal of financial freedom, and that's always been the goal, no matter which decade you go to. That's the goal, but the how has completely changed over the last few years. And we were discussing, as to why. Is it the fact that the internet is here and it allows people access to a lot more, much more people faster than normal? Or is it because there's so many new businesses out there that there's a lot of competition and it's easy to choose one company over another if one's not working for you? Or is it because leaders are the reason why people do what they do and follow and move from one company to another? And just by doing a little bit of research, I've come to a conclusion. Back in the day, and I mean 70s, 80s, and 90s, when you ask a person if they were interested in earning an income outside of what they were currently doing, the one constant negative thing that you had to overcome was, well, I don't want to get into one of those pyramid things or those pyramid scams. And you just had to overcome that major objection. Convincing people that they needed to have a plan B to their job. Today, when you ask a person if they're interested in a home-based business, the question now is not if they're interested, but it's what companies are they already a part of right now. So we've already overcome, and I think this is a huge success, that people actually now have consciously realized that their plan A is not going to get them to where they need to be. So they need to be in the plan B. So now that they have that realization, the next is, what plan B? What business? Which business should I be a part of? And there's thousands of them out there. I don't agree that there's one business that is the best company or best business. I believe that there are better fits for different people. One company may be absolutely fantastic for one person and be horrible for another. It just doesn't fit their style. So you need to find a business and a company that fits your style. And that's perfectly fine. If there's a market for a company out there, if people want to join it, then there's always going to be more companies that get started. And when there is less of a demand, then you're going to see companies that go by the wayside because they're not able to sustain themselves. And go back to having a few companies that are having fantastic growth and they appeal to more of the masses. And that's always, that's just the law of supply and demand. And that's perfectly okay. You show me the best or so-called best company out there, I'll show you somebody that's broke. You show me the worst company out there, I'll show you somebody that's making six figures in it. So the company isn't the point. But an alarming trend lately has been where people no longer want to take the time to sit in a company, put their head down and go to work and to achieve success. And they want it overnight success. And we try to figure out why that change happened. Now, it's not that hasn't always been there. I'll give you an example. Back in the 90s, for example, if you were in a company, you were not having success, you had two choices. One choice was to quit and go back to your job that you knew wasn't going to get you to anywhere. The other choice you had was to put your head down, learn better skills, go through personal development, and go through the time necessary to have success. And they would always say, if you stayed in your same company for at least 10 years and you remain consistent, you will reach the top level of the company. 10 years. People today scoff at that. They act like 40 years on a job is okay, but 10 years to become financially free is too long. That's how they think today. They spent 30 to 40 years of their lives making decisions that have gotten them to where they are today and expect to join a home-based business and overcome that within 60 days. It's just not realistic. And the hype stories of that is too far and few in between. It happens for a few people, but not for the masses. But what we found out today, you always have the term multiple streams of income. You know, it's not good to have all your eggs in one basket. You got to have them spread around. And that was the cool thing the last couple of years. But even today, you don't see multiple streams of income. You just see people hopping from one company to another. And what they do is, when they leave one company to join another, they bash the one they were a part of. They sever all ties. They sever whatever income they might have had from that company in an attempt to recruit for the new one that they're in. And they do this over and over and over again as a new trend that we've seen that's really taken root over the past year and a half to 2 years. No, it's not about multiple streams of income. It's about the newest hype, newest get rich quick scheme that's on the surface. And one thing we tried to look at, is it the companies that these people are following, or is it the leaders that they're following? You know, that's always open for debate. You know, how many times can a leader do this and continue to have a long-standing base of followers? You know, you would think moving over and over and over again, you start to dilute yourself a bit. People aren't going to follow you anymore, and that definitely is the case. But there's another thing that I found that's taken place, and I learned this lesson. My father taught me this lesson when I first joined network marketing. I was a senior in college, and I was still living at home, and I wasn't making any money. And instead of putting effort into trying to go find a job to sustain myself, I was putting all my effort into my company, 100% effort into my company. And my dad pulled me aside and he said, you know, I don't agree with your choice. I want you to go to law school, but I don't agree with your choice. But if you're going to do it, you need to be a man and be able to sustain yourself, because you're building your business off of my back. Meaning, I was eating and living rent-free and food and clothing and being supported by my parents while I was trying to build my business. So if I was trying to build my business on my own support, I'd be homeless and hungry. So he taught me a lesson. He said, if you want to build your business, fine, but at least be able to pay your bills to sustain yourself while you build your business. And I learned that lesson. Jim Rohn talks about that consistently. You know, don't leave your full-time job until your part-time business, you have double or triple what you make on your part-time business and your home-based business. But what's happened today, and especially for Americans in network marketing, those that have been in for years and have had success and lost success, made money and lost money, they're a little burnt out by now. They don't want to go through the process of having to build their a new company from ground up all over again. They want to take deals, they want to bridge money, they want signing bonuses, things like that to help sustain them. And I understand that. You go from making $40,000, $50,000 a month to zero. You can't go back to a job. It's kind of hard to do that. You want to quickly get back to where you were. And I understand that fact. People may not like it, but I understand it. However, what's happening for a lot of people is they're hungry. They have bills to pay. So they don't have the time to put into a company to build long term. In most cases, that's not even what they're looking for. They may say that's what they're looking for, but their actions speak differently. What I mean by that is this analogy here. If a man is drowning, and E.T., the hip-hop, preacher talks about this. When you're drowning, there's only one thing on your mind. It's not what you're going to have for dinner. It's not what vacation you're taking next week. It's not your retirement fund. It's not how you're going to pay for your kids' college tuition. It's none of those. All you're thinking about is, I need air to breathe right now. I need to survive right now. So you will do anything to meet that goal, even if it's just short term, right now. And that mentality can explain a lot of the behaviors of Americans in network marketing. When you see them moving from one company to another, It's not that the company they were a part of might have been bad. It's that it did not satisfy their immediate need right now. Network marketing was not designed that way. Network marketing was not designed to be a lottery ticket. It was not designed to be able to pay all of your bills within 60 days of you joining. Network marketing is a business just like any traditional business. And most traditional businesses, it takes 3 to 5 years just to be in profit, let alone financially free. But people join network marketing today and act as if it's going to solve all their problems within 90 days. And if it doesn't, they're on to the next because the next company is promising them that. So I have one fact for you. If you're in a situation where if you're not able to perform today, you don't eat tomorrow, you're going to have a very long and hard and stressful road in network marketing. There are a few individuals when their backs are against the wall that they can actually make that happen. I was one of them. My back was against the wall, and within 90 days I was at 5 figures a month residual income because I had to. I was able to perform under pressure, but that is an exception to the rule. Most people do not have those type of results. It takes years. But if you're in a situation where you don't have years, that explains why people move around to the next easiest, quickest thing that's going to make them some money. Not necessarily the best long-term strategy, but they're not looking long-term. I talked to a lot of older networkers in their 60s and 70s, and one thing they told me, said, Brandon, you know, I'm old. I'm not looking for long-term. Show me how I can make a couple of $1 million as fast as possible. That's all I'm looking for. Problem with that is those individuals have a huge influence with a lot of people and a lot of people following them that don't have that same goal. They're looking long term. They want something that's stable for the next 10 years. But you don't disclose that to them. They're following you and they're the ones that end up biting the dust. You make a lot of money, but they bite the dust on that. And you're out of the game. And they're stuck with empty pockets. So my advice, if you're looking for a long-term business, the first thing you need to do is be stable yourself. Be in a position where your bills are going to be paid regardless of the results of your business. Where you're going to be able to have food on the table regardless of the results of your business. Where your lights are not going to get turned off because you didn't build your business fast enough. If you're in a position where you are stable and you can take the time necessary that it takes to build any company, long term, you will be able to replace your income. For some people, it happens fast. For others, it happens slow. I'm not looking for the get-rich-quick games. I can do that. I can make 6 figures, $500,000 over the next year and 2 years with any of these gimmicks out there right now. That's not what I'm looking for. I retired at the age of 36 years old. I'm 38 right now. By the time I'm 48, I want to be in the same situation where I'm still retired and I have millions in the bank. And if it takes 1, 2, 3, or 4 years to have those type of results, then so be it. It's not about the company, it's about your goal. But you must be in a company that's going to allow you to be able to have that growth, and you must be in a situation where you can sustain yourself so you're not tempted by any new fast gimmick, get-rich-quick scheme that comes your way, and they will come your way. Every single week I'm approached with something new. And they're enticing. But if you're in a situation where your back's against the wall, you're always going to be jumping from one thing to the next, looking for that pink golden goose. So if you're in network marketing, be a professional and act like a professional. This is a long-term build, but it's much faster than your traditional 9-to-5 job. There's no best company out there on the market. There's only companies that's best for you. I'll do another video on know what to look for if you're looking for the right company. But until then, thank you guys for listening. Be smart about your business and build for the long term. Decide that you're going to be in a company for 1 to 2 years regardless of the results, and remain consistent to work it before you decide, this doesn't work, I'm moving on to the next. God bless. My name is Brandon Ivey. Bye-bye.